Good evening. My name is Evan Wesley, and I'm from the Thirst Project. And the Thirst Project is the world's leading youth water activism organization. We stand behind the fact that if we want to create change in this world, the most powerful agents of social change are students. And so we are seeking to end the global water crisis. In 6 years, we've been able to give over 260,000 people clean water solely through the work students are doing. And we have seen what the gift of clean water can do for a community. When you give the gift of clean water, you give children the opportunity at education. You give women the opportunity at an occupation. And you give community sanitation. And water is directly linked to global development. What I want to do right now is introduce an amazing woman who's done some incredible things for global development. Her name is Mischa Barton. And Mischa Barton has been doing some really cool things through organizations like Save the Children and Climate Star. And she's in a new film called Bhopal, A Prayer for Rain. Let's take a look.
Why India?
We came here to help build better farmers.
It's a tough market to corner.
India was open for business, and I wanted carbide at the heart of the revolution.
कार्बाइड में काम किया
My name is Warren Anderson. Remember, we're not just carbide, we are Union Carbide, united in our efforts to build a better future for everyone.
Welcome to Bhopal. Free guide. What kind of things do you write?
Lifestyle.
Lifestyle, okay. You want to write a real story?
We may need to implement some structural changes.
This could have serious implications.
I'm willing to take that risk. What is our official line?
As long as we are learning from our mistakes, we are safe.
Union Carbide stores 40 tons of poison in the heart of Bhopal.
One drop of your stuff killed her husband.
We set the highest safety standards in the industry.
Link the tanks. Push them hard.
Is that a good safety precaution?
Your factory is choking this town.
But this factory feeds this town. Tell me something. You think carbide should stay here in Bhopal?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can sleep tonight.
As a part of the Thirst Project and the Millennium Campus Network, we want to present the 2014 Global Generation Award to Mischa Barton.
Thank you. It really is a pleasure to be here and to get to talk to you about my time spent in India. What I saw there with Save the Children was really life-changing to me, and India is living in several centuries all at one time, from the metros of Mumbai and Delhi to places where child marriage are still the norm. So India taught me many useful life lessons. Lessons that you don't learn in books and you don't learn in classrooms. It was a lesson about women. I grew up in London and New York, and I started acting when most girls my age were in the playground. And growing up in these places, I knew that the wealth of a nation was measured by how many planes or satellites it had. But then I went to India to shoot A Prayer for Rain, and it was an experience that really changed my 20s. While I was there, I got the opportunity to visit a girls' school in Hyderabad where we were shooting. And I remember seeing these young girls, they were walking hand in hand, these girls in headscarves with their Hindu girlfriends. Hyderabad showed me how these different cultures, Hindus and Muslims, can live harmoniously together. In this town, women were empowered. They had knowledge, they had jobs, they had financial freedom, and it showed on the whole society, a tolerant and progressive society. Now you must be asking, what does this have to do with a nation's wealth? Well, let me explain. On the way home, I thought about why these little girls were so tolerant to each other's faith, why I saw hope on their faces. And my visit inspired me to find out more about those happy, successful women and their children. So I read. I read between the takes, I read while waiting for the flights, and it was different kind of education. I wanted to find out, and I spoke to people who knew. And I realized, and believe me, no school teaches this, children are the wealth of a nation. And a nation's wealth is measured not by how many aircraft carriers it has, but how it treats the women who raise those children. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us civilized. And that's what makes our children healthier than us. So let's go back to those women for a second, the women who have control of their own future. They are empowered. But then I did a lot of thinking about things, and empowerment is such a tricky term. How do you empower a woman? By giving her a gun? I mean, maybe in the Midwest or Georgia or whatever, but. Or you empower a woman by giving her cash? It doesn't last. If it was me, I'd take the cash and buy shoes. But. You empower a woman by giving her education, a career, a tolerant attitude that she passes on to her children. And a nation that does that has a strong future. No wonder then that the UN measures a nation's wealth by its maternal mortality. How many women die in childbirth? The US is 39th, way below Albania, which is 22nd. That's the wealth of a nation for you and me. Education not only gives us empowerment, it gives us something else. I learned that India has been a country of religious tolerance, for centuries before these ideas were even known to Western society. So India opened my eyes in more than one way. On the flight back, I thought, why are some people more tolerant and others less so? Of course, it's education. It's education that opens people's eyes. Education is the key to reducing religious discrimination and gender discrimination. Those girls were so keen to learn, and it inspired me. I firmly believe that if we had more women in powerful positions in countries like India, where there are bright minds with such an emphasis on spirituality, that we could actually prevent future Bhopals from happening. When we made A Prayer for Rain, it was not to blame anyone, because it was too late for that. It was to change things for future generations, so Bhopal would never be seen in the news again, and only in history books. And now I wanted to end with this quote by Rabindranath Tagore. I find his words inspiring. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms toward perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee, into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Thank you.